Big news circling the Vince Neil and Rain Hannah breakup. Rumors are flying. Allegedly, Rain is hoping to ride off into the sunset with her cowboy as soon as her nearly departed Vince Neil is out of the picture. Get ready to meet the Witch of Tennessee and former friend of Rain's, Belle Murray.
Dig some holes in the backyard, maybe bury a couple people.
We'll be sharing more details in future episodes to come, but tune in to hear from our first guest who claims to know of Rain's dark intentions with Vince Neil. Don't touch that dial, it all starts now. If looks could kill, man, it'd be all right here. The Rockstar, the Black Widow, and the Witch. That's what I'm going to call this episode. Friday, last week, Vince Neil and his girlfriend, Rain Hannah, they were together for 15 years. TMZ reportedly just released that they had broken up. Allegedly, Rain Hannah was cheating on Vince, per TMZ. Well, I did a little investigating right here. And back in the happy days when Rain and Vince were together, Rain became friends with the Witch of Tennessee. We have her here today, and she has some inside stories, insights of her relationship with Rain and Vince, and we're going to talk to her about the relationship of Vince and Rain and the Witch. It all starts now. Don't touch that dial. All right, Belle Murray, the Witch of Tennessee, is here. Welcome, Belle, to the show. I feel like we might have met before, have we?
Maybe a couple times.
I feel like, let's just dive into it. Well, TMZ released the big news that Vince Neil and his girlfriend, Rain Hannah, after 15 years, broke up over an affair that Vince had caught her with another guy, supposedly. That's what the rumor on the street is. Let me ask you, that's what you do for a living. You're a witch. You see things. Have you ever seen a vision of Rain and a guy, or Vince Neil and breaking up, or this relationship going south? Any visions of this?
I did. I saw a vision of the cowboy, the alleged person that she's having a relationship with. I did have visions about that. I did have visions about him being sick and having major medical health issues. And I tried like everything to get to him to tell him what was going on. And to tell my story is a little crazy because it's not every day that you get hired to do magic against a celebrity. And that's what she hired me for. She hired me to do magic
She
to
hired you
bind him. And
to bind
binding
him.
him means keeping him in the dark, which means manipulating his perception or altering like what he does to make sure that she had total control over him 100%.
So to clear the air here, you weren't going in there to do harm to him for anybody watching. You weren't going to harm Vince. You weren't
No,
going
but
to do anything negative to him, nothing dark.
no, I don't do anything dark, but what she portrayed him, like she portrayed that she had a horrible life and there was so
Mm.
many things that she went through. So she portrayed herself as a victim. So she wanted me to do magic to get him to stop, which is basically she hired me to bind him. And binding is part of what you do in magic when you want to have somebody someone other in control. So she
Mm.
wanted 100% control of him. She didn't want him to know what was going on, and she had me do magic against him.
Well, Vince is in a circle. Did you know them at that time as well? Did you get to talk to them?
I only knew at the time I knew one person in his inner circle, and I had met them quite a while ago, and we kind of communicated every once in a while. And I would tell her, Rain is not the up and up person that you think she is. Like there's some shady shit going on, and it made me really nervous. And
Yeah.
after a year, I still kept having visions about these bad things happening. So finally I reached out and I said, I have to tell you my story because I'm worried about his life. I'm worried about what he's doing. And I knew that she had told me that she was not in love with him and that she hated his guts.
Hated
She
his
literally
guts.
told me, I hate his guts. She didn't love him and she was only out for a plan, which was 5 to 10 years. She wanted everything in her name. She wanted the schoolhouse in her name. She wanted vehicles in her name. And she wanted to be on the trust.
The
And
schoolhouse,
when
which
she
was
told me
her
that,
business to make for people to
yes, it was her
understand.
business. It was a business that he bought her, but she wanted it in her name. That was part of her plan was for him to leave everything to her. And she told me that everyone was worthless. His kids, worthless. They're they lived off him. She wanted everything in her name, and she told me she was very relentless about what she was gonna do, that she would not stop until she got her way.
Not stop till she got her way. Now, let me ask you, money. Did she offer you money if something happened to him?
She did. She offered me $1,000,000 if I could alter his perception.
How would she word it to you? Would she say it like that, or did she say to you to harm him or to
She
get rid of
literally
him?
said, I will offer you $1,000,000. If you can get him to if you can get him to change, or if you can alter him, she goes, I will give you $1,000,000. Where
Was
did
there
she
a
would get that
time?
$1,000,000? I have no
Yeah.
idea.
So there you go. Where would you get the $1,000,000 unless there was an insurance policy if something happened to him, right?
Right.
Was she on his insurance policy? Did she have a policy or anything?
I know that she tried to get a life insurance policy on him, and she was pushing him to get that.
Mhm.
And I know that he had an episode in December, and instead of calling an ambulance, she called the life insurance agent, and she asked him to put a life insurance policy on him before she took him to the emergency room. And the guy was like, "Dude, you gotta call 911. Like, I'm the last person you want to call." But that was the first thing she thought of. She wanted to have money. And her plan was to sock away as much as she could.
Crazy, crazy plan.
She told me that she was not in love with him, that it was just an emotional relationship, kind of like a mother son. That's what she told me.
So her plan was to take the money.
Hmm.
Did she want Vince dead?
I think she wanted him out of the picture. I think she wanted him out of the picture, but she wanted the monetary value instead, because we had talked prior about, if you're so unhappy, then if it's so bad, why don't you leave? And she said, I don't want to lose out on what he deserved. Like, she told me she deserved to have his estate and that his children didn't. So she wanted to make sure everything was left to her.
So the big house, big giant house, she was not going to let that go. If something happened to Vince, she wasn't going to let it go. She would have fought the kids, basically.
Yeah, she wasn't fighting the kids. She totally wanted them out. Like,
So
she
she,
didn't like his kids. She doesn't care for his kids. I mean, she used to tell me how bad they were.
wow,
So she wanted them out 100%. She was all in it for herself, and she didn't want to leave his grandkids or any of his children anything.
nothing. She wanted everything in the will to be to her.
Yeah, she did.
Interesting. I mean, if the kids are watching this, how's that make you feel? If Vince is watching this, how's it make you feel?
I mean, place she had me do magic on their house and on him, and she had me place crystals all over where he was to keep him in check. So
Mm.
what that means is, when I do magic in somebody's house, I'm putting my energy in it, and I'm asking for calmness and for peace. So she wanted to keep him in the dark. She didn't want him to know what was going on, and that was one of the key things that he didn't like. He doesn't like being in the dark. And
No.
she manipulated his life. Like, everyone in her family was running his house. He was very rarely alone. Tom went with him everywhere, and that was per Rain.
And Tom was Rain's brother,
Yeah.
who Tom is driving Vince's cars and wrecking his cars as well.
Yep.
So the scene, her in a Rain's in a circle taking care of Vince is really not taking care of Vince. They don't have good intentions for Vince. Their
No, they
intentions are
do
all
not. Not whatsoever.
for them.
Nope. It's all about money and what they can get out of it. That's
Me,
it's all that's all that it's about.
it's like a me,
When you have
myself, and
when you
I
have
story.
Right, when you have access to that kind of money, it wasn't about his well-being. It was about what could she get.
Um, there's rumors or his health. Um, is she the reason that Vince is having these mysterious health episodes?
I would have to say yes. I believe that. I believe that 100% because she told me, and I quote, "I am not in love with him at all. I dream about other men when I go to sleep at night, and I just want to stay long enough to get things in my name because that's what I deserve."
Should Vince be scared?
Yes, because she's lying and she's manipulating him. I mean, she doesn't love him. She just wants his money and she wants to control the situation. She even told me she was very controlling and that she was very manipulative.
What
Oh,
message
she
would
just
you? What's that?
no, she told me that she just wanted the stuff. I mean, it wasn't about him.
It wasn't about him. She just wanted the
No.
money and all the stuff, basically, his assets, basically. Um,
Yeah, she wanted his access. Yeah.
hmm. What message would you like to if Vince is watching this? Because I know you probably want to speak to Vince. So make believe Vince is right here in the room with us. What would you say to him?
I would say don't go back with her. She's not there to love you and care for you. She's there to manipulate. It's not safe. Like he's not in a safe environment at all. She does everything she can to keep him in the dark. And he needs to be aware that she's not it's not safe for him. All she cares about is what she can get out of it and that's it. And I know she's going to say that I'm crazy and that I'm probably trying to be relevant, but this doesn't have anything to do with relevance. This has to do with wanting to make sure that somebody isn't harmed, like for me.
Make sure you click here and here for our next episode. That is the news in rock today, kids. We'll catch you all later. Who loves you, baby? We do. Thanks for watching. Mwah. Bam.
Watch never stops.